Well, I am so excited to be sitting down with the Mr. Negative himself, Oliver Petty. I know you guys are probably like, what? His name is Mr. Negative. Why would Miss Purpose have Mr. Negative? So can you kind of just brief us on what that means, what that stands for?
Of course, yeah. So when you, especially being a younger African American male, growing up in a society, I noticed that myself, my peers growing up, we felt like we knew everything.
Yeah.
And whether if it's you're in a relationship or you're doing some things that probably aren't in your best interest, right? Your friends aren't probably best for you. Your parents or somebody older might give you some information and give you some advice.
Right.
And we see those people as negative. You're trying to block my shine. You don't want me to have fun. I just want to hang with my friends. So we see them as negative.
Right.
But they're really giving us all positive information.
Got it. Okay.
Right? So I said, okay, I'm going to give you all positive information. If you notice at the beginning of my channel, W2J, I always say I'm going to speak the truth regardless of how you feel.
Right.
So I'll be Mr. Negative, and I'm going to give you all of this positive game that I've learned.
That's good. That's good. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. So we had briefly spoken about how you are not just a graduate of Azusa Pacific with your undergrad, but that you have your master's degree as well.
Correct.
So talk to me, because I know your story, you have such a great testimony, but talk to me about how you were able to remain focused in a world where, I think one of your videos, I don't want to quote you, but in a world where women were a distraction for you. Like, how did you push past that, especially when you think of African-American males, athletes? It's like thrown in your face. I mean, like just, I don't want to use the word, but just slapping you in the face all around. So how did you stay focused, and how did you end up here?
Well, if you notice on my videos, I talk about how I did not stay focused first. It was very difficult.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, I did what I wanted to do. I was an athlete. And then when I got to college, I'm like, I'm gonna do the same thing. And I started getting injured. I got injured in high school, but when I got to college, I got injured a few times back to back.
Yeah.
And my dream was always to go to the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going league. Like, this is happening.
Yeah.
And I remember I fractured my ankle, and this is the second time I did so. And a friend of mine said, Oliver, football might not be your calling. And it really had, like, shook me, and I had to really sit down at my table and talk to God, like, yo, is she right? Does she have some truth here?
Yeah.
And that helped me understand, like, okay, you need to get focused. It doesn't mean that I didn't have fun. It doesn't mean that I didn't talk to women.
Right.
But they weren't my primary focus. They weren't my secondary.
Yeah.
I really don't know where they fell. But my primary focus was figuring out, what am I going to do if football doesn't work out now? Because the reality of the situation is only .something% goes pro.
Yeah.
And I said, with this education thing, I can go pro.
Yeah.
Nobody can stop me from that. So does that answer the question?
Yeah, I think that makes sense, because there has to be a level of focus and discipline that I think that comes, because this is just my perspective, African-American males are like an endangered species. So we do have to try to preserve and protect the best that we can.
Right.
So when I think of an African-American male like yourself sitting in front of me who has decided and made a decision to turn his life around, I'm curious, like, what steps would you give if there is a man that's watching right now, boy, whatever you call him, and he's saying, I want to be like that. What advice would you give him so that he can be sitting in your position right now?
So there's a number of things that I talk about, and it's all foundation. In the foundation is your mindset.
Yeah.
Listening to Monica talk about going inward was so powerful, because it all starts here with you, nobody else. And that's what my brand is called, Only Thoughts of Ownership. And then the YouTube channel, no wonder it's Welcome to the Jungle, because the world is a jungle, right? That's how I view it. So if I'm telling a young black male or any young male, hey, look, you have to go inward first. It's all in your mindset. Everything begins with your thoughts, and then you have to take ownership of those thoughts.
Yeah.
Thoughts lead to feelings, feelings lead to actions, and actions lead to results.
That's good.
So what are you thinking?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel? What are the actions that are going to follow those? And then that will dictate the results that you want. So you have to go in. Faith and imagination is also those key points. So.
Yeah.